Hello, Slicey Dicers. This is Brian with another knife review for you. Today we have the brand new Civivi Dogma. Thank you very much to White Mountain Knives for getting me this so quickly. If you go to White Mountain Knives, use the code SDWMK at checkout, you get 10% off. And 10% off of this, it's not 10% off of much. This is only $47.75. It is a brand new, one of their brand new budget models for Civivi. Civivi is kind of a budget brand. I used to call them the budget arm of We Knives, but now it's almost easier to call We the higher end version of Civivi because Civivi is so popular, and this knife is definitely going to be extremely popular for the price. For the price, you're getting D2 steel, the usual excellent ceramic ball bearing action that you get on every Civivi, G10 scales. It is sort of they call it basically like a modern EDC with some classic features, and I think that's a very good description. You get this kind of Bowie shaped blade with a nice hollow grind, kind of like, your dad's old fixed blade, your grandpa's old fixed blade. You get the handles, and the milling in the G10 sort of mimics, that same sort of thing. There is a copper version coming that you can see it even more. The way they have the copper handles colored on it, you can see that kind of aesthetic even more. But on this particular version, those are a bit more. I think those are about $70. But this one comes in 4 different colors. You have this blue, you have a gray, a kind of an OD green, and a black. I don't know. I just went for the blue. I don't know why. I just chose for that. I think it's a really nice blue. I've had other blue Civivis in the past, and it always looks really cool. But yeah, I do like the aesthetics of it quite a bit. I wasn't sure how I'd feel about this faux bolster thing, but you know what? I don't hate it. I don't hate it a bit. It's actually pretty nice. It is right hand, left hand carry. You can see that the pocket clip is slightly recessed, but it does have flush screws. So thank you very much for that. We'll talk more about that when we get to the carry. But yeah, pretty cool knife for that price, I do have to say. It definitely is going to be in the run-in to compete with my favorite Civivi, which I'll show here when we do the size comparisons. Which, let's get to that. Let's do some specs and some size comparisons. We have, line this up against, these are 1-inch squares in this background. Couldn't use the purple background because this thing kind of just disappears in the purple background, so I busted out the old gray one for this. You have an overall length of 7 3/4 inches, blade length of 3.5 inches. Blade thickness pretty thin at 0.12, kind of what you come to expect from Civivi. Handle thickness also fairly thin at 0.47. And a weight of 3.21 ounces, which they get the golf clap for because that's what they claim. And that's what it weighed on my scale. So Civivi, I think, has gotten the golf clap more than anybody else. But let's do some size comparisons. We'll put up here against your Spyderco Paramilitary 2. We'll save a couple of Civivis for last that I want to comment more about. And your Spyderco Delica 4. I'm still between Para 3 lightweights at the moment, so not using the Para 3. You can see just a little bit bigger than the Delica 4, a little bit smaller than a PM2. Maybe I should just stick with the Delica 4. You guys let me know. I like doing the PM2, PM3 thing, but maybe you guys prefer me to use the Delica 4. Even though it's a fancy one, it's the same dimensions. And then we will do our usual Benchmades here. We have the Benchmade full-size bug out and the Benchmade full-size Griptilian, which now this one disappears into the background, but at least it's sitting on the sticker. But yeah, you can see very similar in overall length to the bug out, just a hair longer than a bug out. And now we want to leave that one there, you moron. Now let's do some Civivis here. One that I think aesthetically it reminds me of, this is a larger knife, but would be the Shredder. You can see where there is definitely some design cues taken from the Shredder, which no problem there. I love the Shredder. And it is sort of a mini Shredder with a different looking handle on it. And the one that I think, I'm wondering what's going to happen to this one, and I hope nothing bad, but this is the Baklash. So the Baklash, you can see, is just slightly larger, slightly less expensive. Right now, they're on sale everywhere for $40, where this is $47.75, but they're on sale almost everywhere for around that $40 range. Really hope that doesn't mean it's going away, because this is still, it was one of the first Civivis. I think it's still my favorite. I've had brief love affairs with other Civivis, including the Shredder, but I keep going back to the Baklash. I just really like it. I like the 9CR18 steel. These are both D2. Really like the 9CR18 steel. I really hope it's not going away. I can't imagine they'd get rid of it, but it's on sale like everywhere. So I don't know what's going to happen to it, but you can see size-wise, Pretty similar to the Baklash, maybe a little bit smaller, but design aesthetically wise, other than the handles and a little bit more of a clip point, definitely inspired by the Shredder, which, yeah, no problem there. All right, let's put these away. And one thing that this has in common with the Shredder, I said the Shredder was one of the most appropriately named knives ever because it was super slicey. Yeah, so is this. Looking at about 17 thousandths behind the edge. Very nice hollow grind, only 0.12 inch blade stock. Yeah, it cuts. This is very slicey, razor sharp out of the box, as all Civivis are. I really like the look of that Bowie clip point. I don't know if everybody's going to love that. That may be kind of a polarizing thing, but I really like it. The only thing you complain about this blade is the looks if you don't like it, and yeah, the tip is pretty dainty on there. So keep that in mind. But slicey as the day is long, and I really like the blade. It is D2. I know I talk about sometimes people think I don't like D2. It's not that I don't like D2. It's just that there's so much of it, and as a reviewer, I see so much of it that's the only reason I ever say anything bad about D2. It's just there's a lot of it. Maybe that's why I like the 9CR a little bit better. It is easier to sharpen as well. But yeah, I would not have minded seeing this one in 9CR. I really like the 9CR 18 MOV steel. Sharpens well. Civivi's D2 is good to go. It holds an edge great, just as you expect D2 to do. All that stuff. I have D2 Civivis that I like a lot. I don't know, just me. I'd rather see the 9CR. Some of their models I'd rather see the D2. This one I think I'd rather see the 9CR. But I cannot complain at all about how this thing cuts and how it performs. Not a bit. Also, no complaints on the ergos. No hot spots at all. I guess maybe if you really want to whine, I guess I can kind of feel that jimping from the liner lock, but it's really minor. It's really not a big deal. I mean, if you're really squeezing, the liners do sit a bit proud, but again, that's nothing I really feel at all. Your thumb lands in a really good spot. Great place to choke up on it. And with this really slicey blade, I've really enjoyed using this for like small little detail stuff. It's just been outstanding because it's a comfortable place to choke up. You have such a slicey little blade. Works great. As far as the carry goes, bring out a ye old Levi's. Nice deep carry clip. As I said, the clip isn't fully recessed in there, but it is at least a little bit. And you do have flush screws. So it goes in and out of the pocket extremely well. And once it's in there, there's almost nothing sticking out. This is the brightest color one you're going to get. So you can see it's not really much to worry about there. Plenty of room to get your hand past. No problems at all. You do feel that flipper tab a little bit and the jimping. It might scratch your Widow Pinky, but I really need to make Widow Pinky t-shirts. I think I do. But it is going to be a bit of a Widow Pinky scratcher. But other than that, it's not too bad. It's definitely not like so big that it's going to destroy the stuff in your pockets or anything. It's just if you get close to it, you might notice that. Carrying it the last couple of days, I do notice going in and out. It's like, sometimes I notice that little scratch, but not really a huge deal. Definitely slides in and out well. As always, the Civivi pocket clip, great, as far as the tension and everything goes. No complaints there. I did hear somebody mention that you could buy these somewhere. And if someone knows where that is, please let me know, because there are several knives I own that I would put Civivi pocket clips on. I like this pocket clip that much. So definitely a big fan there. Action, it's almost just like saying it's a Civivi. It's great, but it is. But this one is actually kind of exceptionally good. The D10 is perfect as you'd expect. It's very drop shutty, just one little quarter wrist flick. And I've not taken this one apart yet. If I tuned it up, it'd probably be totally drop shutty, which is fantastic. It's very smooth. And this little deployment hole on here, it looks like, when I first got out of the box, I'm like, well, that's not going to work. Totally works. Spidey flick it. Thumb flick it when you don't have your finger in the way of the flipper tab like a moron. It works great. No issues at all there. Yeah, it doesn't look like it would work. It's not the most comfortable deployment hole I've ever used, but it works. It absolutely works, and it works great on the Spidey flick, which is where I thought that it wouldn't work. And that's how I've been opening it most of the time. It's just easy, and it's fun, and it's pretty cool to do. So what are my conclusions on this? I really like it. It's probably a budget knife of the year contender. For the price, $47.75. Man, that's great. And Civivi had been doing some more expensive knives lately. The Asticus was a little bit more than they usually do. In the Shredder's a little bit more because it's huge. But I'm really happy to see them doing more of these sub $50 knives, and this is an excellent one. Now, they also have the Mini Bull Mastiff, which I have one of those too. That review will be coming up soon. Got them both at the same time. And that's a much more unique knife. It's like a cleavery thing. But my only worry is that I hope it doesn't kill the Baklash. And it might. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the Baklash. I have to email my guy at Civivi and ask. I did ask the previous guy at Civivi from before, and he said he didn't know. And now this new guy I've not asked yet. So we will see. I'll ask my rep here and see what's going on with that, if they know. But as long as it doesn't kill the Baklash, this thing is fantastic. And it is a worthy replacement for the Baklash. I have a special place in my heart for the Baklash. I like the 9CR. If they do kill it for this, not the end of the world. The only downsides I can see to it that would turn people off from it is the very dainty tip, and people might not like this pattern on the handle. Not everyone's going to love that. I get what they were trying to do. I get the aesthetic they were going for, and they nailed it. But that might not be everyone's cup of tea. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I'm definitely going to continue enjoying this knife. I've been Brian. Have a good one.